you ever paid a lot of money for something, only to realize it was a terrible purchase? Well, perhaps it was a fancy new phone that lagged from day one, or a designer jacket that never quite fit right. A strange thing often happens next. Instead of admitting our mistake, we start to defend it. We tell our friends the phone has a unique personality, or that the jacket is a work of avant-garde fashion. We lie, not to our friends, but to ourselves. This is not a rare character flaw. It's a predictable, universal human quirk. It's the strange, powerful force of cognitive dissonance, a defense mechanism our brains use to protect us from a simple, uncomfortable truth, that we are not always as rational as we believe. This mental gymnastics act is more common than you think. It happens in our careers. It happens in our relationships. At its heart, cognitive dissonance is mental discomfort. It is the psychological pain we experience when we hold two or more contradictory beliefs, ideas, values. It can also happen when our beliefs clash with our actions. Imagine you believe strongly in protecting the environment. You sort your recycling, carry a reusable water bottle, advocate for green policies. Then, one day, you buy a large gas-guzzling SUV because you love its design, because you love its power. That action directly contradicts your deeply held belief. The result is internal tension, a feeling of unease or hypocrisy. Your mind is in a state of dissonance and wants out. To resolve this tension, your brain scrambles for a solution. It needs to make the conflicting pieces fit together. This process is not a conscious choice to lie to yourself. It is an automatic, subconscious drive for mental consistency. We often defend our bad choices for a simple reason: to protect our sense of self. We all want to see ourselves as smart, competent, good people. When we make a decision that turns out to be foolish or harmful, it threatens that positive self-image. Admitting, "I bought a terrible car," can feel like admitting, "I am a person who makes terrible decisions." We insist, "It's a great car. It just has a few quirks." This act of self-justification props up our ego. It allows us to maintain our belief that we are intelligent and capable, even in the face of evidence to the contrary. Consider the common experience of joining a club or group that required a difficult initiation, only to discover the group itself is boring. Its members are unfriendly. Yet, many people in this situation do the opposite. The feelings that drive us to defend our choices are rooted in deep psychological needs. At the forefront is our fundamental need for cognitive consistency. Our brains are pattern-matching machines. They crave order. They crave logic. They crave a world that makes sense. When our actions contradict our beliefs, it creates a glitch in the system, an error message the brain registers as a threat. This creates a state of mental tension, a nagging feeling that something is wrong. To eliminate this tension, we are motivated to change one of the conflicting elements. Since our actions are often in the past and cannot be undone, it is usually our beliefs and attitudes that get revised. Another powerful driver is social pressure and the preservation of our public image. We care deeply about what others think of us. We want to be seen as reliable. We want to be seen as intelligent. We want to be seen as consistent. The sunk cost fallacy is another critical component. We double down to justify time, money, and effort already spent. Finally, regret pushes us to avoid painful truths. Our desire to be consistent is a powerful social tool and a powerful psychological tool. It helps us build trust with others. It allows us to create a stable sense of identity. People who are predictable, whose actions align with their stated values, are generally seen as reliable and honorable. This internal drive is so strong, we often follow through even when the initial reasons have vanished. However, this admirable trait has a dark side. It can become a psychological cage, trapping us in courses of action no longer in our best interest, simply for the sake of appearing consistent. Public commitments amplify this pressure. We keep going to avoid dissonance, not because we enjoy it. The theory of cognitive dissonance is not just an abstract idea. It is backed by decades of clever and revealing psychological experiments. One of the most famous was conducted by Leon Festinger and his colleague James Carl Smith in 1959. Participants performed a painfully boring task, turning pegs on a board for an hour. Afterward, they were asked to tell the next participant it was enjoyable, exciting. It was a simple lie. Some were paid $20 to lie, others only $1. Then everyone rated how enjoyable the task actually was. The $20 group reported it was boring. They had clear justification. The $1 group had lied, but lacked a good reason. I lied for a measly dollar created strong cognitive dissonance. To resolve it, they convinced themselves it wasn't that boring. They changed their own belief to match their action. They reported genuinely finding it somewhat enjoyable. They altered memory and attitude to make their world coherent again. More recent neuroscience shows conflict center activity drops after we justify our choices, and reward circuits light up. Recognizing cognitive dissonance is one thing, but escaping its pull requires conscious effort. The process is not about brute force. It is about creating space for clarity. The first and most crucial step is to simply pause. Notice defensiveness, internal squirming, the urgent need to justify a choice. Do not react immediately. Stop what you are doing. Take a few deep breaths. This moment of pause acts as a circuit breaker. It interrupts the automatic reaction and gives your more rational, slower-thinking brain a chance to come online. In that quiet space, observe your feelings instead of being controlled by them. The second step is to name the feeling, acknowledge it. I am feeling defensive right now. I sense some dissonance here. Labeling externalizes the feeling, turning it into something you can examine. It creates distance, space to choose your next move. Building resistance to the negative pull of cognitive dissonance is like building a muscle. It requires consistent practice, starting with small, manageable weights. You start with the minor everyday choices. For instance, you try a new cafe and the coffee is terrible. Instead of justifying, practice a small act of honesty. Acknowledge, this coffee isn't very good. I probably won't come back here. This small admission is a victory. It reinforces that it's okay for a choice to be a dud. Practice changing your mind in low-stakes situations. Be simple and honest. Choose present well-being over past commitments. Separate actions from identity to reduce defensiveness. Analyze the action. Learn and adjust. These small wins accumulate into a new mental habit. Over time, the urge to justify will lessen. You'll be more comfortable with imperfection and make clearer choices. Cognitive dissonance is not a flaw in your design. It is a feature of the human mind, a built-in mechanism designed to protect our sense of a coherent self. We have seen how this mental tug-of-war is triggered when our actions conflict with our beliefs, creating a discomfort so profound that our brains will bend our perception of reality to relieve it. We defend bad purchases, justify poor choices, and double down on failing projects, all in service of maintaining internal consistency. We do this to protect our egos, to feel good in our social groups, and to avoid the painful sting of regret. This is a universal human story, but we are not destined to be puppets of this process. The path to clearer thinking is paved with small, deliberate actions. It begins with the courage to pause and the wisdom to name the uneasy feeling. Seek honest feedback from others. Treat mistakes not as indictments, but as data for growth. Admit small things. Change your plans. The goal isn't a life free of dissonance. It's to shorten the time between mistake and admission. Close the gap between actions and values. Stop defending the past. Free that energy to build a better future.